Hi guys, this is Stephanie with My Simply Creative Designs. Today I want to show you how to make this easy stand-up card. It says thank you so much using Sizzix products and products from the Stamps of Life by Stephanie Bernard. So let's go ahead and get started. First I'm going to show you all the products you're going to need to create this card. The first thing is going to be the Lively Framelit stand-up set. And you're going to need ocean colored ink from Stephanie Bernard's Stamps of Life, some flower embellishments, but you can use any kind of embellishments if you don't have those, some yellow cardstock, that's the color I used. You don't have to use that color, but that's the color I'll be using in this video. Lighter yellow colored cardstock for our words, ocean cardstock, and this doodle pattern paper from Stephanie Bernard at the Stamps of Life. I'm also going to be using some guava colored check ribbon. This thank you word die, it has both the shadow and the word die. And this ink set, this stamp set that's an alphabet to make the word so much. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you need when you get the stand-up set is that you need to use the 3 largest pieces in the die set. This comes with more than 3, but you'll just need the 3 largest to start out with. So I've already taken those out. And when you are making a stand-up card, you really need to take your cardstock and instead of cutting it horizontally, you need to cut it vertically because you need your paper a little bit longer to fit the whole die on your paper. So the easiest way to cut your paper is to take a cutting pad and line it right up along the edge because that'll give you the exact size you need to fit your die. And it'll leave you with a little bit of scratch paper that I like to use later for different words and things like that. Now I have my big kick machine off to the side off camera so you can't see it. But I have also the extended magnetic cutting pad, which makes cutting things that are as long as this much easier. So you just take your die, add it to your cutting pad, and then bring it through the machine. And any kind of cracking or popping that you hear on the machine is normal. That's just the blade part cutting through the paper. And once it goes all the way through, the Sizzix dies are nice because they not only cut but they also score all of your cardstock. So once you take your paper out, you have the base of your card and it's all ready to go. So the next thing that we need to do is cut out our pattern paper dies, which are going to go right here on our card. And so I like this doodled, multicolored doodle paper. That's a pattern paper from the Stamps of Life. Once a month, Stephanie Bernard produces various card kits. And in each card kit, she makes a custom pattern paper that she then will later on sell on her website. But I really like her pattern papers. Alright, so once we cut that out, that's going to fit on here once we glue it down. So I think that the next easiest thing to do is just if I cut out all of our stuff first, then that way we won't be trying to have to cut out other things later. So I'm going to cut out the words thank you, the shadow die from Ocean, and the thank you thinner words from a color called Lemonade. It's a lighter yellow color. And I'm also going to cut out a border that will go along the bottom of the card, and it'll just kind of give it a little bit of added character to the bottom of the card. Now it's also in the pattern that the card is cut out in. It's called Lively, and that's just kind of the name of the shape. All the different stand-up dies and flip it cards are given their own pattern name. So there we have that. And next we're going to cut out this little border die. So as you can see, it has the same pattern as what will be our stand-up card. So I think that I'm going to cut that out in this white cardstock color, just to give it a little pop of color on our card. Alrighty. Now I think we're ready to start assembling our card. Okay. Alright, so the way that I like to assemble my cards is that I like to put the pattern paper down first and then fold the card so that I can kind of get an idea of where everything's going to sit. So when you look here at this card, I know it's kind of hard to see, but here in the middle of the card there's a perforated line, and that's where you're going to fold it. So the easiest thing I find to do is to fold the card first before you start decorating it, just so you can see where you're supposed to decorate it. And I always take a bone folder and really crease the edges of my card, because that way it'll make it stand up better. Because these kind of cards you want people to stand up and put on a shelf or on their fireplace so they can really look at it. Especially if somebody's sick at the hospital, they could put this on their oversized table and they could really be able to enjoy your card while they're there. So I like to use liquid adhesive. Some people like to use tape runner, but I find that liquid adhesive does just as good as the tape runner for putting on big pieces such as this. So you just kind of center it on your card, and then this piece goes on the top part. And the nice thing about these is that they're already pre-die cut. They give you a little bit of extra space for you to have a border so you can see your card stock color around it. And then I just fold it up. Sometimes this little notch here you kind of have to pull up a little bit so that it'll be able to fully stand. So that's the beginnings of our stand-up card. Next, what I want to do is I want to take this thank you, the die and the shadow, and I want to glue them together so that I can place them here on my card. So I'm going to put a piece of scratch paper underneath so that I don't accidentally get glue on my secret weapon. That's a tool that you can use to make your stamps more detailed when you stamp them. So I do like to use glue tape for putting on my words, and I really like this particular glue tape because it only sticks to where the letters are, so it's very detailed. I've also used Sizzix adhesive before, but in this case I'm just going to use my glue tape. So you just kind of neatly and slowly put down your letters, and then you have your words thank you on top of your shadow die. So now I'll just glue that down because I want it sort of centered on the lively stand up there. So I'm going to glue it down, and then we're going to add our border die. We're going to add it here to the bottom just to give it a little bit of extra decoration. And this I think I'm also going to use my glue tape with because it's kind of an intricate cutout. I just put a little bit all the way across, and then we can glue it down here. And the best part about these is that they're cut exactly for the length of the die, so it gives a little space on either side but not too much. Next I'm going to add this ribbon. The key I found always to making sure you can make a bow with your ribbon is not cutting your ribbon off until the end, till after you've put your ribbon and tied it, because I've been known before to start making my bow and then I run out of ribbon. So I like to try and cut my ribbon after I make my bow if it's possible. So we'll try that today. And I think I'm going to put it on the right side. So just make my little bow, and sometimes I have to go back after and tighten it a little bit. Just put my bow there, and then I'll cut it after. And sometimes I do knots, but today I think the bow just adds a little bit extra to the project. Cut off a little bit of the extra. There we go, that's what it looks like so far. And next we're going to add our stamps. So right here, as you can see, when this stands up, it gives a little bit of space here. So you can write your message in this part. I've written my message up in the top part of the card before, but right here, we're going to add to our thank you and put the word so much. So we're going to take our stamping block and our alphabet stamps. And I've already used these before. So I'm just going to put one on each side of the die so I can do this a little bit quicker. I'm going to take out my ink. Now these inks are the smaller ink pads from the Stamps of Life, because I don't really need big ones. I usually use them for smaller stamping, so these work just fine. And I'm just going to line them up above my border here and just stamp out so. And then I'll put the first couple letters of much on there. And I'll clean these off later. The easiest way to clean off your stamps is just to use like a cheap baby wipe from Walmart, because they won't leave any marks on your stamps. They won't leave any lint. So then they're good to go every time you try and use them. And then we just need C and H. We'll add our little flower embellishments. And our thank you card will be all finished. All right, here's our C and our H. So now our card says, thank you so much. And I'm just going to add 2 little floral embellishments. You can add any kind of floral embellishment you like. This is a part of another Stamps of Life card kit. So I just thought these colors went well with what I already had. So I'm going to add one there. And I think I'm going to change it up on this card and put the other one up top where the thank you is, to add a little bit to the top part of the card. So there you have it, the thank you so much stand-up card made with Sizzix and Stamps of Life products. You can go to my Instagram page. My Simply Creative Designs is the name of the page, and you can see all the other kinds of cards that I make there. Have a good day. Bye.